Hey guys, it's Eric, and with this video, I wanted to present Dive's Drain Taking Guide and discuss why it's so powerful for leveling in Classic. Now, there's been much discussion in the Warlock community about the various ways to level, and although there's no true way to level, Drain Taking might be the most viable option for leveling 1 to 60, so let's talk about it. Drain Tanking is a method of using damage over time spells combined with life leeching spells such as Drain Life and Siphon Life to kill mobs while maintaining life and mana resources to minimize downtime. A Warlock who properly maintains their health and mana pools should be able to completely avoid having to eat or drink for an indefinite amount of time. Here's how it works. Your Health Stone, Siphon Life, Drain Life, and Death Coil are your life gaining abilities. You sacrifice your health in order to gain your mana back with Life Tap, and with Dark Pact, your pet's mana becomes your mana. Now because of Dark Pact, the Succubus actually becomes the demon of choice for Drain Tanking. The reason being is she does very good damage, up to 25% of your overall DPS, and doesn't spend any mana doing so. As long as you have her abilities off autocast, she'll never run out of mana like the Imp would, making her great for long killing sessions and acting as a mana battery. As an added bonus, she provides utility with Seduce and high damage for world PvP encounters. Her Lash of Pain ability is an instant attack on a 12-second cooldown and should be used when the Succubus almost has full mana. This is to prevent her from wasting regen and maximizing her DPS. Lesser invisibility makes the Succubus invisible, making your combined aggro radius smaller. This should be kept on manual as it'll waste mana to cast after every fight. Soothing Kiss will lower the Succubus's threat and is occasionally useful to prevent her from taking damage, since her damage is front-loaded. The other two pets that are viable to drain tank with are the Imp and the Felhunter. The Imp has among the best Warlock Demon DPS when talented. He provides a Fire Shield and Blood Pact, but his fatal flaw is that he runs out of mana. His regeneration is faster than any other demon, which makes him a great mana battery, but you sacrifice his DPS. The Felhunter is a decent pet for drain tanking, having fairly good DPS without having to spend any mana. He also regens mana a bit faster than the Succubus, but the perks of having the Felhunter is the option to spell lock abilities and the ability to devour magic. The main problem with the Felhunter is the quest, as it is fairly long and out of the way for most quest routes, so most Warlocks speed leveling wait until 60 to get this pet. Now the least viable drain tank demon is the Voidwalker. He does low DPS, generates mana slowly, and can't hold aggro off you if you are doing a drain tank rotation. But the Voidwalker is fairly useful when needing to complete difficult quests with multi-mob pools. Now that you understand the concept of drain tanking, let's go over the core talents in this build. Improved Corruption will allow you to cast Corruption while moving, giving you more space to drain tank. Improved Life Tap increases your life to mana conversion efficiency, making 1 life equal to 1.2 mana. Suppression increases your hit rating with affliction spells. 3 points invested will allow you to be hit capped against all mobs yellow to you. Spell Concentration will allow you to resist 70% of spell pushback when channeling drain spells. This talent is the essence of this build, and you should not start drain taking until you have it. Grim Reach will extend the distance of your affliction spells by 20%. It allows for safe pulling, gives you more distance between you and your target to apply dots and begin life draining. Siphon Life is basically the damage over time form of Drain Life and is required to learn Shadow Mastery. Shadow Mastery is going to increase all your damage done by your shadow spells. And Dark Pact will drain the mana from your pet, returning it to you. Our complementary talents are going to consist of Improved Drain Life, which will increase the amount of life drained by 10%, Amplify Curse, which gives you a nice boost to your Curse of Agony every 3 minutes, Improved Healthstone, which will increase the health returned by your Healthstone by 20%, and since Healthstones are mana neutral, this makes your Healthstone a net gain in resources. And Demonic Embrace will increase the stamina, making you more tanky. Now there are also a number of optional talents you can spec into that this guide highlights, but the one I want to briefly mention is Improved Drain Soul. So Improved Drain Soul will double your normal mana regeneration when not casting spells, and allows normal regeneration to continue while casting. It was concluded that in the early levels when you are primarily using your wand, you don't get much value from Improved Drain Soul, unless you exploit the 5-second rule and reduce your kill speed. This means drain soul for a few seconds, ideally around 5, before the mob dies, and do not cast for the next 10 seconds. You get very little value out of Improved Drain Soul due to the high cost. In the later levels when you are primarily using Drain Life, you'll get a reasonable amount of value from Improved Drain Soul. The extra mana regen contributed during the while casting phase seems to be about 30% of the regeneration from Drain Life. This is before considering external factors such as damage taken due to lower kill speed. Personally, I would skip this talent as there are too many variables to make it effective. But if you want a more in-depth explanation, check the description down below for a better breakdown, as I only scratched the surface. Now there are 3 options presented in this guide when it comes to order of talents, but understand there are many variations to this. Option A has you put 2 points into Improved Corruption, 3 points into Improved Imp, 3 points back into Improved Corruption, and 3 points into Suppression. This allows you 4 extra talent points to spend where you want before respecing Option B at around level 24 when you get your Succubus. Option B has you put 5 points into Corruption and 3 points into Suppression, 2 points into Improved Life Tap, and 5 points into Fel Concentration. Even though we've invested 5 points in a fell concentration, we still want to be using our wands early on. When we look at this chart, we see that it compares wand DPS versus drain life DPS by level. The gray dots represent wands obtainable by most people, such as quest rewards and bind and equip wands. The blue dots are wands that are obtained from dungeons or require you to complete dungeon quests. The green lines represent the DPS of drain life at any given level. You'll notice that early on, wanding is extremely valuable while drain life is not worth using. However, drain life begins to pass wanding around level 30 and 38 depending on your wand. With that explained, let's move on to option C. Eventually, option B will lead you into option C, which will take you to level 60. Option C has you put 2 points into Grim Reach, 1 point into Amplify Curse, 2 points into Improved Drain Life, 1 point into Siphon Life, 3 points into Improved Drain Life, 1 point into Nightfall, 5 points into Shadow Mastery, and 1 point into Dark Pact. At this point, we are level 40, and we switch over to the Demonology tree and put 2 points into Improved Health Stone and 5 points into Demonic Embrace. After our last points into Demonic Embrace, we have 13 points available to invest. For a more defensive playstyle, invest your points into the Demonology tree, and for a more aggressive playstyle, invest your points into the Destruction tree. Also, feel free to dip back into the Affliction tree, because in the end, it's up to you how you want to play. The final topic I want to talk about is the spell rotation for this build. Learning how to drain tank involves learning how to manage your resources and understanding which part of your kit increases or decreases your overall efficiency, as we want to be killing as fast as possible. Now, the rotation we use will vary a bit as we level and the variety of mobs we kill. For example, some mobs might be tightly clustered or immune to your drain life. With that being said, there's no absolute rotation, and you should always think about adapting depending on what enemies you face. Your exact rotation will depend on 4 factors. The first factor is the difficulty of the enemy you face. The second is the life/mana you have. The third is the wand you have versus the rank of drain life you have. And the fourth is the spells which have the newest ranks. The generic rotation is starting the fight with Immolate, then casting Corruption, then either casting Drain Life or wanding your target to death. If the enemy is much harder to kill, start with Agony and Siphon Life. Cast Corruption, then begin draining life. With higher difficulty mobs, add Immolate to the Siphon Life route, and possibly keep the enemy feared. If you're fighting a mob and all your dots fall off, you should usually only refresh Corruption. Now, the decision of whether to cast Drain Life or Wand can be summed up by 2 considerations. The first consideration is if you have much more mana than life, cast Drain Life. If you have much more life than mana, shoot your wand. You never want to waste the opportunity to drain life for HP recovery, and you never want to wand when you have full mana. When handling elite enemies, remember that if you can fear it, you can kill it. And when handling multiple enemies, use all your dots on one target, then fear that target. Then pull and drain tank another target while your dots tick away on the feared target. Just be careful not to pull more. When fighting ranged enemies, it's important to drag them away from their position by using a damage over time spell and running away, or by simply line of sighting them. I hope this guide helped you. There's a couple of things I brushed over or did not cover when making this video, so I highly recommend everyone watching to check out the description for the written guide. I also want to give a special thanks to Dai for making the written guide and Goetia for providing the footage used. Please remember to like the video, subscribe for more content, and join the Warlock Discord for more guides and resources. Thanks for watching.
Alright, yeah. Alright, kite him. Let me see if there's any very powerful mobs up at the top. Keep kiting Teremus. Keep yourself healed up. Line of sight if you're low enough to where the Soul Devourer will kill you. Is there anything powerful up here? Any mobs? No, there's nothing here. It's just fucking Eric. Okay,